Good evening, everyone. So it is now 8:43, right? So we're here as promised. This morning we had a very interesting program, as usual, on Sky 99.5, and I decided that I would do a live. So we'll speak for an hour, then we'll take some question and answers as regards to what we are discussing. Keep in mind, we're going to be live on all our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook, on Instagram. We're Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we're Batson and Associates Trinidad. And on TikTok, we are Dr. Batson. So you're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. So a lot of persons who are listening to us by now know who we are. There may be some people who may be new to hearing this and you may not really know who we are. I can provide some information as regards to that. Batson Associates is primarily an organization of trained consultants in what is referred to as natural and integrated medicine. Now, this morning, we were speaking about hormonal imbalance as it relates to females. So we were speaking about polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, that type of thing, right? We were also discussing a product that we carry at Batson and Associates called uterine formula, which is a product basically designed to improve the health of the uterus, because once you have things like polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, you essentially have a hormonal imbalance problem. And as a result of having a hormonal imbalance issue, you now may have those issues, multiple issues in fact, because you can have, for example, polycystic ovaries and fibroids. You could have polycystic ovaries and endometriosis, and you could have multiple issues associated with hormonal imbalance at the same time. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. Good. Let me say a pleasant good evening rather to Miss Marge Hill. She says, "Good night, my dear doctor." Good night to you. So, with that situation associated with hormonal imbalance, women would also experience painful menstrual cycle. They will also experience issues associated even with somebody saying the audio is low. Okay. We're going to try our best and adjust that. Yeah. So with that situation, it can actually cause infertility. It can cause problems with a very painful menstrual cycle. It can cause problems where you can have miscarriages, a number of issues when a female or when women the uterus. So, of course, the question arises, what can women do to improve that situation as regards to having a healthy uterus, in turn having better hormonal balance so that they don't have those issues that we discussed, the polycystic ovaries, the fibroids, the ovarian cysts, the endometriosis. Okay, so a lot more persons, much better. Miss Lorianne Forbes, thank you so very much for that. Miss June Jatton, she said, "Blessed Sunday night, Doc, and everyone locked on." Miss Cecilia Edan, "Good night, Dr. Batson and all." Miss Vidya Abdul, "Good night, all in the house." We also have Miss Grace Williams. She says, "Good evening, Dr. Batson. Thanks for the live message tonight." You're very welcome. And of course, our friends on Instagram, we can't forget you guys. We have a few people in well here. We have Spice Girl 3354 Love. We have Trisha Pascal. We also have De La Hennessy is also in the house. Michael Alexis 22 is here exploring food with Amaraj has joined us. Lantern 202. Good. So as it relates to the hormonal imbalance situation and hormonal imbalance challenges, one of the things I was saying this morning too as well is the location of the uterus, because remember the uterus is basically anterior to the colon, and the colon is posterior to the uterus. So it means in a case like that, based on just on the laws of anatomy and physiology, these organs are neighbors. So what does that mean? It means that in a situation where you have hormonal imbalance challenges, you will have gastrointestinal problems. What does that mean? It means that women who have serious problems with constipation, bloating, gas, belching, bad acid reflux problems, usually those are the women that end up with situations where they're going to have problems with polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, simply because that gastrointestinal problem creates an environment that is conducive to inflammatory response, again, based on the location of the uterus as it relates to the colon. Very, very important. The same even applies with men and prostate problems. Men who have gastrointestinal problems, i.e., constipation, bloating, gas, belching, all those type of issues, those men usually have problems with gastrointestinal. So you guys again see over and over and over how the gastrointestinal system is so important. Ms. De La Hennessy says good evening to you. Black. Okay, that I try to figure out what that is now. It's black in back in demand one. Okay, and walking in favor 15 has joined us as well. Sorry, basically try to look at that, and because of how it's done, I got a little problems understanding there. So it's actually back in demand. 101 has joined us as well as walking forever. 50, walking in favor. My apologies. 15. Good, nice. So in relation to that hormonal imbalance challenges, what are some of the things we do at Batson and Associates? What kind of woman or a female, young female, especially maybe teenage girl, maybe 16, 17, 14, experiencing problems with polycystic ovaries, experiencing problems with a painful menstrual cycle, what can she do? Well, first of all, I always tell persons hydration. Everything starts with hydration. When we're speaking about hydration, we're speaking about what? Water, right? So it means if you're not drinking sufficient amounts of water, you are going to be at a disadvantage overall. Because water, we know, is essentially important for the functioning of the body. Very important. After oxygen, water is the most important requirement of the human body, even before food. So it means if you are dehydrated, you're going to be at a serious disadvantage. So the first thing you need to do is look at hydration. And that is one of the things we do at Batson Associates, where we carry a premium alkaline water called Alkagen, which is available at all our offices, right? St. James, Davie, Chaguanas, Tobago, and of course coming soon to Longmanville there, where we'll be doing that integrative cardiovascular as well as that clinic associated with rheumatoid arthritis and autoimmune conditions. So you can call and get the water delivered to you. You could go and pick it up at any one of the locations. Miss Jennifer Valentine, let me say a pleasant good night to you, my dear. Excuse me. You and I have to speak, but I'll call you tomorrow, please God, as regards to some things we have to discuss. I saw the missed call and I was actually seeing about something. All right, Miss Valentine, she's Jennifer Valentine 160, and that is our gracious client. They're all out in Texas. Using Batson and Associates products, getting some really good results. An avid listener to us, like so many of you guys. This morning we had some clients, sharing some testimonies as regard to the Santulan. Santulan, of course, is a 7-channel detox product that we carry. It's primarily designed to detoxify the 7 channels of the body. What are the 7 channels of elimination? You have, of course, your kidney, your colon, your bloodstream, your liver, your lymphatic system, your skin, and your lungs. So it means that in a situation where you have problems with your skin, so if I don't like how your skin looks, it looks dull. Your skin don't have that radiance that you want. Try some Alkagen water with Santulan. The only persons who are not allowed to use Santulan initially, or just like that, would be persons who have serious low blood count, or if you have not taken a cleanse in a while, or if you do not drink water. So if you do not drink sufficient amounts of water, you should not use Santulan because you're going to end up in something we call healing crisis, which I'll just describe in a little bit. Mr. Ricardo Valentine 900, which is the adjacent to Miss Jennifer Valentine. A pleasant good night to you. We also have Miss Kyan Marie Williams. She says, good night, Mr. Batson. We'll be visiting your office soon. No problem. Spice Girl 3357 says, Doc, I drink lots of distilled water. Had the santulan, just started with bloating. Can cauliflower cause bloating? Well, most cruciferous vegetables can have some problems with bloating. You see, the thing is, there's a product that we use called digestive balance. And I'll tell you something. Why I like digestive balance is because it helps with the proper digestion of your food. Now, you have to keep in consideration, like, for example, food that I ate today wasn't food that I cook. I didn't cook the food. Um, the person, it was basically callaloo with some provision and that type of thing, right? And I think they may have used some sort of seasoning in the callaloo. So I got a after kind of, you just know. Right? So in cases like that, that is why I like the digestive balance. So when you take your two digestive balance or one, especially if you would have eaten, because I ate before I came here, which would have been like about 7:30, right? And the meal was pretty heavy enough. So I basically took my digestive balance together with my other supplements, that type of thing. The reason why I'm saying that with the digestive balance, it actually helps and assists the body in digesting your food properly. Mr. Ricardo Valentine, blessed good night to you, sir, as well. So with that, it means that you have to constantly be working on that digestive system. Because the thing is, food is very funny, in the sense a lot of times, if food is very spicy, they have a lot of spice in the food. Sometimes the utensils that people cook with, like for example, we know when you're cooking, you should really use wooden spoons as opposed to metal spoons, because wooden spoons tend to not cause problems with your food. When you use wooden spoons, sorry, with your food, the food usually takes longer to spoil. It lasts longer, and that's simply because of using wood as opposed to using metal spoons, right? Stainless steels and those type of things. Good. But the point I'm making is that you have to ensure that that digestive system is always balanced. The digestive or the gastro tea is a very good product that we use as well. Gastro tea is a product that plays a significant role as it relates to the importance and the balance of the gastrointestinal system. So it's very, very important to, you could have that tea. That's something that's going to help. It's going to help with the burning, the bloating, the gas, the belching. Those feelings that cause problems as it relates to proper gastrointestinal health. So again, it's very, very important. Miss Jennifer Valentine says, good afternoon to Dr. Batson and his associates and all logged on. Miss Carol Myers says, good night all. Miss Harry Dio, Sukdeo, good night to you. Miss Melissa Richards, good night, Dr. Batson and everyone. Miss Margaret Hernandez, good evening, Dr. Batson. Miss Felicia James, good night to you. Miss Cindy Holt, SOS. Doc, where is my friend Honeybee? Yeah, you need to send you and Jessica and Honeybee. You're supposed to be tracking. When I say that, you're supposed to be keeping tabs on each other by now. So, So I guess Honeybee would come in very soon. She might just pop in and pop back out as she so wonderfully does it. Right? Miss Carol Myers, she says, share the live. Thank you so very much. Miss Irma Braffett says, good evening. Miss Ruby Sammy, good evening, Dr. Batson and everyone on the live. Miss Leslie Ann, pleasant good evening to you. She says, pleasant night, Dr. Batson. At some point, can you speak on sciatic nerve problems and how it can be healed? Yes, definitely I would. Miss Marcia Letron says, good night, Dr. Batson. Associates, welcome, blessings to you all. Good evening to you, Miss Marcia. Miss Joanne Hospital, she says, went to the hospital recently, and as part of protocol, I had to do a pregnancy test. It came back positive, but I am in menopause. How is that possible? The 3 tests all came back possible. I'll touch on that in a little bit. That has a lot to do with hormones, where you have, so there are what they call pseudo pregnancies. Pseudo, of course, is an acronym for false pregnancies, and there are a number of things that could cause that with women. Miss Teresa George says, good evening, Dr. Batson, and all the listeners and participants. Good evening to you. Miss Juliana Cabrera, she says, pleasant night to you, Dr. Batson. Pleasant night to you as well, my dear. Miss Lisa Robinson, good night, Doc, and others. Jazzy Janice Innes says, good evening, Doc. Great tuning in again today, checking in from rainy New York City. So you're having some rain in there, man. Cindy Holt says, bamboo spoons, yeah. Correct. I there with you. Jazzy Janice says, yes, never knew that. Yeah, no metal spoons. No metal spoons. Ms. Joanne Hospitalis says, my gastrointestinal system is giving me a hard time. I will visit soon. Okay, great. Ms. June Jatan says, yes, I will say it again. Santulan saved my life. Before taking it, I used to go 8 days without doing the number 2. Now I am alive. Thanks to you so much, Doc. You're very welcome, Ms. Jatan. Ms. Keisha Cindy Benjamin says, good evening. Please do a program on hysterectomies. Okay, I would do that in the near future. I will touch on it in a little bit though. Excuse me. Ms. Jennifer Balance says, thank you for sharing. I always learn something new on your programs. Excuse me. Good. So back to what I was saying as regards to the Santulan. So Santulan is a 7-channel detox, which means it cleans and detoxifies 7 channels of elimination in the body. Why is that important? So for example, when you're brushing your teeth, right? It's vitally important when you brush your teeth. You usually brush what? All your teeth, right? You brush the canine, you wash the incisors, all your teeth. And there's a way in which you brush those teeth. So the ones to the back, thanks. Thanks very much. The ones to the back is very important. The ones to the side, and there's a particular way that you brush your teeth, but the point is you brush all your teeth, right? Good. So the point I'm making, when you're cleansing, then you should cleanse all the organs that require cleansing, you don't think? So, as I said, you have 7 channels of elimination in the human body: kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So it's very important in order for you to have optimal health or experience or give yourself the best opportunity to have good health is basically to use what? The Santulan. Very, very important. Okay. So keep in mind you could get the information on the Santulan. Very easy to use. It's a 7-channel detox. Cleans and detoxify kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Again, we have the Real Sweet Pea has joined us on Instagram. We also have the Real J. James has also joined us as well. Good evening to you, sir. It's Lena has also joined us. Michelle Cooper says, good night, Dr. Batson. My husband was sick this morning, upset stomach, vomiting, diarrhea. I gave him a digestive restore. He's now telling me, boy, that tablet really worked. I feeling much better. Thank you. Whoa, good. So glad to hear that. Miss Kathleen Ishmael, mother, good evening to you, my dear. She says blessings. So again, that is something very important as it relates to your gastrointestinal health. So check out the Alkagen water. Check out Santulan, Santulan. You could also check out Digestive Restore as well as Digestive Balance. Keep in mind our telephone numbers, and those products are available at all our offices. You can also have delivery available as well. Let me give you the number for the Shogunas office, which is head office. That telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. And that office is located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That's Money Talks building in Montrose, Shogunas. That telephone number for Shogunas again is 222-8261. Keep in mind our marathon days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the Shogunas office. Essentially, it's all days we have a consultant in an office. So if you need to have your blood analysis done, if you need to get a consultation, there is no excuse. Where Dr. Batson's availability is concerned, as regards to this week, I will be doing Debe. So I'll be in Debe Monday and Tuesday, God's willing, as well as Saturday. And Shogunas is going to be on Wednesday. St. James, of course, is going to be on Friday, please God. So you can keep those dates in mind. If it is you need for me to do a review with you, keep in mind we have the consultants there to make our job very easier, to make your job easier, my job easier, to ensure that we help you efficiently and effectively. So allow them to do their jobs, please, where they would do the initial and preliminary evaluation of you. And I could always do your review at a subsequent date. If it is you think you need a review earlier than that, that could be organized and it could be arranged. Okay? So those numbers again are 222-8261. That's 222-8261. And for the Debe office is located on the corner of Ramsamud Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number for Debe is 223-7515. Again, that's 223-7515. St. James, of course, is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number for St. James is 220 That's 220-8113. Again, that's 220-8113. Tobago, of course, is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. And that number for Tobago is 226-4553. Again, that's 226-4553. Spice Girl 3357 say, do you deliver to Brazil TNT? We should be able to, in all honesty, but what I suggest you do, even if we don't come all the way to the points, we normally meet people along the way. Like, of course, we have clients in Grandy. If we do maybe a Miaro or Point 14, we'll meet you at a certain point, you know? There's always a solution. Always, always a solution. Okay, Spice Girl 3357. So call, put the information there, and we will ensure that there is some sort of solution we could come up with for you. Okay? Ambitious Sasha has joined us, exploring food with Amharaj, my apologies. Says, good night. I have a friend who have been on dialysis since 2016 and needs a kidney transplant. Can you guys assist with this stage? The thing is, we have helped significantly people on dialysis. When I say that, anyone who is on dialysis who comes to Batson Associates and follows a protocol designed for them will get an improvement in their general health. The thing is, as it relates to kidney health, the reason why it's more difficult to help you is because you already started dialysis, which makes it 1,000 times more difficult to help you, as opposed to if it is you were not on dialysis and we were actually assisting someone who is now developing early renal failure, that type of thing. And I have said this on numerous of my programs where I've actually been able to help a number of individuals who have had issues with their kidney, may have been stage 5, stage 4, and we help them up to 3 and up to 2, where we were actually able to improve and increase the glomerular filtration rate, hence improving the overall health of their kidneys. Right? So that is something that we would be able to do. So as it relates to someone being on dialysis for years, they are a bit more difficult to deal with in the sense where you now have to make sure and provide certain aspects associated with kidney health, sorry. Because remember, you have to understand that the kidney is a vital organ that goes very bad very easily simply because of that aspect associated with hypertension. So it's very, very important to play a significant role of focus on one's situation associated with kidney health. So it's very, very important that we work on that and then, make sure and organize that particular aspect of our kidney diet and that type of thing. Very, very important. Okay, we have Miss Boyce. I'm figuring out it's Brigale Boyce has joined us. Joyce Smiles Dental has also joined us as well. A pleasant good evening to you guys. Let me see here. Kels Hotcha says, good night, Doc. I'm using a hot towel on your is using a hot towel on your spine together with an ice pack on your forehead at the same time a safe procedure if you have spinal problems? Okay, so using a hot towel on your spine together with an ice pack on your forehead. No, I wouldn't use those two together. Why are you doing that? The thing is, what I would recommend if you're having problems with your spine, the best oil to use in terms of massaging would be coconut. You could also use the castor oil as well, because as I said, castor oil is one of the oils that penetrates the skin the deepest. It gets into the body. It's a very good lymphatic, how to put it, boy, motivator. So it motivates your lymphatic system to work. Right. Miss Frederica Joseph says, good night, Dr. Batson, watching from New York. Pleasant good night to New York. Thank you for the good health information and great products to go with them. Blessings. Thank you so very much to you. Miss Murray says, night, night. Miss Paula Rupchan says, good night. So a pleasant good night to you guys. So again, it's very important, as I said, to pay attention to that gastrointestinal health and really work on it. Your hydration, of course, excuse me, is very important as well, because we know, as I said, hydration is every single thing. Ms. Murray is watching from Tobago. Yes, and we will be in Tobago. Our office, of course, opened from the 8th Monday the 8th, we'll be beginning to utilize that new office there in the Triangle Building in Scarborough. So only good could come out of that, and I look forward to being able to help and assist so many more persons as it relates to one's health. Good. Keep in mind, someone is asking about our online consultations. Yes, we do have online consultation. The telephone number to call for the international consultation would be 868-373-2388. Again, that's 868-373-2388. Miss Murray says, I will be there. Okay, great. Looking forward to see you, my dear. So as it relates to, so we have covered polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis. Good. Uh, One of the things too as well that we need to pay very close attention to is, as I was speaking about digestive issues. So we covered bloating, gas, constipation, where we spoke about the alkagen water, the santulan. Remember, we also highlighted the rule for drinking water is your body weight divided by 2 ounces. Very, very important, right? So that's something that you need to pay very close attention to. In addition to that, this morning we touched on prostate problems with men. Now, whenever I speak prostate, I always remember Tobago because I feel Tobago, they get a raw deal when coming to prostate. But I believe, and this is not something to cause any issue or thinking we better than anybody, or I personally, let me just say we better than anybody. But the men in Tobago are a little special in the sense that a little really listen, you know, or they have a special level of hardness, right? And only just pay the price, right? Common sense make before book. You know you have a particular diet, you have a particular lifestyle. You may consume large amounts of meat, especially pork. If you do that, it is vitally important that you take better care of yourself, obviously. And I think that's a given, but people don't do that. You know, everybody of the opinion that they're macho and you're strong and nothing could happen to you until you lie down in a hospital bed and you're begging for the good Lord must be to take you because you're suffering so much. Right? So it's just a matter. I know some people might find that statement, they might find all sorts of things wrong with that statement, and that's okay. But I'm a very practical and factual person as regards to things. I've seen it. I see it on a daily basis. You know, much people just come to me, they're tears in their eye. They're crying because they're sick. You're sick. Miss Margaret Hernandez says, common sense, Dr. Batson, is not common. You're sure right. So my point is, if you know you're doing certain things a little on the negative side, and we spoke about that this morning, where we spoke about persons who have problems associated with uh, like gastrointestinal problems, men who may have problems with urinating, excuse me. So you experience things like stoppage of water and those type of things. The mere fact you have that symptomology means that something is seriously wrong with your prostate. You're already experiencing prostatitis, which is infection of the prostate, which causes benign prostatic hyperplasia. And you could also have BPH, which is benign prostatic hyperplasia, or prostate cancer. Any one of those could graduate into prostate cancer, you know. So BPH could eventually cause prostate cancer. And that's why I was speaking this morning, and I was so adamant about my dislike for biopsies. And I tell people that I don't understand why it is they do biopsy on people. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't see the reason for it. As I say, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and fine, I have no problem with that. We'll agree to disagree. But why? Why would you do that? You understand? You open up that human body to so many things, and that's what they're trying to get away from. Okay? Miss Margaret and Percy Clover said, would one have to be in Trinidad to do a blood analysis? For now, yes, and if you're in Trinidad or Tobago, because the way blood analysis is done, it has to be is a live sample that we get. So it's not to say we can get your blood and they ship it how much miles first and then we look at it. No, it wouldn't work like that, right? So for now, it has to be done at one of our offices, our locations, until we do affiliate offices, whatever the case may be, where we would have people on the outside and we could actually use that blood or have the blood analyzed, and then we actually make specific recommendations as regards to that. Okay. Ms. Karishma Ramdan, that's one of our senior medical consultants who work with us. Ms. Ramdan says, pleasant night, Dr. Batson. You are speaking on point, as usual. Thank you so very much, my dear. Miss Annie Grant says, good night, Dr. Batson, watching from Guayari. Safe night to all. Safe night to you, and pleasant good evening from a distant part of Trinidad. Miss Cindy Holt says, Doc, this morning there was a question that you missed from Abigail Thomas. If one can take zinc and magnesium together. Also, I miss your class on the different types of magnesium. Yeah, I actually need to give that class over again, that magnesium class. So I will do that, God's willing, this week coming here. If you could take zinc and magnesium together, yes, they can be used together. Usually they do. You usually have zinc, magnesium, or you have a zinc and D3, because those minerals and that vitamin tend to work in conjunction with doing a number of things for the musculoskeletal system, the immune system, male reproductive system, that type of thing. So they can be used together. Okay. Anointed Woman has joined us on Instagram. We also have Ray Harris 86 has also joined us. Good. Um, there's a question that someone asked as regards to poor circulation, where they were asking about swollen feet, and if one has swelling in their feet, if that is an indication of poor circulation. The answer, of course, is yes. Most of the time, swelling in your feet has nothing to do with your kidneys. It's more a circulation problem, poor circulation at that, especially when you find you get up in the morning, your feet nice and flat as we say, or nice and small, and then by the night, your feet swollen, especially if you have been in your feet for a number of hours. So it's very important that you do some sort of circulation exercise. You do a little walking. You also do the circulation tea. We're going to be getting back balance circulation and circulation plus. Balance circulation was the capsule circulation. That product used to do for circulation what nerve restorers do for sleep, that balanced circulation. But we were getting some problems with it, but we're now going to have in stock in the next coming month, as well as the advanced circulation, which is a liquid circulation product. I love that product. We have gotten some really good results with people with varicose veins, spider veins, people who have had things like deep vein thrombosis, that type of thing. So again, looking forward to have that product back in stock. Miss Stephanie Seeley says good night, watching from Tobago. Good night, Miss Seeley. Pleasant good evening to Tobago. Keep in mind, we are there from the 8th. That new office will be opening, and of course, we're going to get the ball rolling. The ball will start rolling a little slow, but we get it. Most important, the ball started to move. Very, very important where that is concerned. Miss Kalisha Moore says, pleasant good night, Dr. Batson. Always informative and enlightening. Excuse me. Becca says, good night, Dr. Batson. Listening from South Trinidad. Okay. So South is in the house. Okay. Miss Trisha Pascal says, can you use Santulan with inflammation in the prostate? Yes, you can. In fact, Santulan would be recommended. Remember, one of the things Santulan does, excuse me, Santulan is an anti-inflammatory. It's a natural anti-inflammatory simply because of what it is going to do in terms of joining, or in terms of actually cleansing and detoxifying the body. So it's a very, very important thing. Remember with Santulan, when you have, hey, Joel Batson 9 has joined us. Good night to you, sir.
Some people trying to go live with him.
Oh, yeah, I realize that.
Yeah.
So the people who, yeah, so y'all can't go live with me, right? Keep in mind it's question and answer, and we're going to do the question and answer in about, it is now 9:16. So from 9:30, we will go as regards to the questions, and well, question and answer, even though I'm going to answer some of your questions as we go along, right? So Anointed Woman says, good night, Dr. Batson. Do you treat patients with mental disorders, example, schizophrenia? The answer is yes. What I would say, as regards to persons with schizophrenia or mental, or who have been placed on medication already, we need to be very careful in the sense that sometimes, how could I put this, boy? Most of the time, these people, the diagnosis is a wrong diagnosis. I'll explain quickly. You see, the thing is, when your nervous system is lacking, you'll understand what I mean by lacking, right? So the nerves or the central nervous system is lacking from the aspect of nutrition, from the aspect of functionality. It means that you're in a situation where any mark could play, as the people say. Now, I often make an example. Let me give you a perfect example, right? If you are, let's say, anemic, so you have problems with low blood count, right? your blood count could go so low that blood is responsible for doing a number of things, right? We know blood is responsible for transporting oxygen and nutrients. It's responsible for feeding different organ systems in the body. It is basically the transportation medium for oxygen and nutrients to cells in the body. So the healthier your blood is, the healthier you would be. Blood is referred to as the river of life. In some cases, excuse me, blood could be the river of death. And I've seen that with some individuals where your blood's so unhealthy that it's no wonder why your inflammation levels is so high and um you really ended up in a situation with problems. So as it relates to that particular question with persons with mental disorders, is a lot of times we can help you. But the problem is when you start persons on these type of medications, it is very difficult to help them because a lot of that medication alters your brain chemistry. And that is a serious thing. So you find people who really were diagnosed with schizophrenia. Sometimes it's not schizophrenia. Your nervous system so shut that you will be hearing voices. You're going to hear voices. If your nervous system is not healthy, remember your central nervous system, which is basically your what we call it, your spiritual, your mental, your mental and your supramental and your mental. Your supramental mind is your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind has a lot to do with dreams and visions and a whole host of things. That don't mean you're mad. What it means though is that the central nervous system is lacking. And when your central nervous system is lacking, like any part of your body that is lacking, you're going to end up in problems. Women who end up with postpartum depression, and this is something that I've been explaining recently. These women and them, they just find a name for the depression that they have after pregnancy. The reason women end up with postpartum depression is why you just make a child. Your nutrition wasn't good when you're eating because most women when they're pregnant don't eat properly. So you're deficient nutritionally, and you have to feed an entire human being growing inside of you who is going to take all the nutrients and nourishment that you have. So you're now in a deficient or depleted state, and your central nervous system is depleted. You don't think you'll get sick? And then they come up with a big name and tell you you have postpartum depression. When I tell you your central nervous system fix your central nervous system, and you would no longer have postpartum depression. Always keep in mind, most of the time, your symptomology is not important. The symptom, if you have a mental disorder and they're telling you have schizophrenia or you're bipolar or you have obsessive compulsive disorder or you have depression or you have anxiety or you have insomnia, you usually find people with insomnia that have depression and anxiety. Why? Because your central nervous system is becoming more and more compromised, and as a result of that, you are now in a situation where you're going to get multiple symptomologies, i.e. depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, bipolar. But the main problem is what? Your central nervous system is deficient, basically put. Okay, so to answer a question a long way, yes. All right. Lantana 202 says, Doc, good night again. Persons who cannot swallow tablets, how can you help? No, if you can't swallow tablets, you can't swallow tablets. There are some people who just absolutely hate to swallow tablets to the point where it's actually a reflex or a thing where you're thing and you just begin to must be panic in your head and think you go and choke or something. But we carry a lot of liquid products. Santulan, for example, liquid, Alkagen water, liquid, advanced chlorophyll, liquid, inflammation formula, liquid, resveratrol formula, liquid. Then we have a lot of powders that we carry now. So the L-arginine formula is powder. Then we have mangosteen. We have things, man. We have things. So we cater for persons like that who may not like to swallow tablets. We cater for people who don't really like to swallow things. I love liquid because one, it gives me the opportunity to naturally increase your fluid intake, sensible fluid intake, i.e. water. So that's one of the reasons why you usually find out a lot of clients because we like to incorporate things. It's a balancing act. But what we try to do is do things in such a way that we make your life easy. All right. Miss Kathleen Ishmael or Kathleen Batiste, my apologies. She said, good night, Doc, listening from Central. Miss Hernandez asked the question, Dr. Batson, can you help someone who's becoming Alzheimer's? Yes, we can. Miss Patsy Phillips says, good night, Dr. Batson. I'm watching from Cap de Ville. Be safe. Cap de Ville is far, far somewhere, right? I know it's a little far, but it had no way far in Trinidad. But all the same, Miss Philip, pleasant good night from Captiville. Christelle Lovell says, can you help with someone with high inflammation, mucus, and joint pains? Yeah, we fixing that in with sleep, man, Miss Lovell. All the person have to do is willing to work. They're willing to work. Once you're willing to do the work, I was saying this morning, you have to have some skin in the game. Your doctor alone can have skin in the game. Your doctor not sick. Is you sick? So it means that we working to help you, but you have skin in the game. You have to do what's required. You have to follow the diet. You have to improve your water. You have to try and start to do some exercise. Because in the final analysis, it comes down to you. Miss Marva the Freighter says, good night, Dr. Batson and associates. Listening from Arima, I am Marva Massano. My sister Bernadette Massano from Malabar, Arima, introduced me to your programs. Okay, good, pleasant, good evening, and nice having you. Miss Allison Pitt, someone who is doing chemo, what could they take to nourish their body? Okay, if someone is doing chemotherapy, and just this morning rather, excuse me, I was speaking about that, where I was saying that you remember once you're doing chemo and radiation, chemotherapy rather, or radiation, or both, you have to ensure that you do certain things. You have to protect your gastrointestinal system. You have to protect your respiratory system. You also have to protect your musculoskeletal system. Why? Chemotherapy usually has the greatest amount of side effects on those organ systems, especially your gastrointestinal system. So it's very important that even during your chemo, and after, you have some sort of nutritional protocol to follow. And that's one of the things I was explaining this morning. All right? Miss Alison Bridgelal says, good night. Jazzy Janice Innes says, you spoke on that this morning, eating well. Yeah. So the thing is, nutrition is vitally important to healthy people. But imagine how much more important proper targeted nutrition is for sick people. And that's why I was saying nothing upsets me more when people come to tell me they went by the doctor. The doctor tell them they can eat what they want. You mad? A lot of them just eat what they want. That's why they just look so. See how some of them is look terrible? Because you're not giving people good advice. You are a custodian for health and you're telling somebody to eat what you want? Nah, man. That can't make sense. Excuse me. So, let me, of course, give those telephone numbers. Again, keep in mind for the Shagona's office, that number located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Shagona's. That telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is, of course, the corner Ramsamut Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. The telephone number for Debe is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. And that office, of course, is located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Shagonas. That telephone number again for Money Talks building is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. And Debe is the corner of Ramsamut Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number for Debe is 223-7515. Keep in mind, we have open clinic days in Debe with Dr. Batson on Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. And it's Wednesday in Shagonas, and Friday in St. James. Okay. For the St. James office, that office is located Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That's Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number is 220-8113. 220-8113. And Tobago, of course, is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number for Tobago is 226. That's 226-4553. Okay. Miss Felicia James, hi, Doc. I sent the report for you and I haven't gotten a reply as yet. There's Miss Felicia James. Okay. When you send the report, most likely the reason why I didn't get the report is because Thursday I had program, and then of course Friday was that whole situation with the bomb scare nonsense. So I would not have been in office 2 of those days. So most likely I will get it on Monday. If I don't get it on Monday, I should get it on Wednesday. But I'll check it again because they would have it for me. It would be in my file on my desk. So as I said, most likely Monday I would get it. If not Monday, latest for the Wednesday, sorry, for the latest. Miss Patsy Phillip says Capdeville is in Point 14. Yes, my dear. I know it's somewhere down on that side. Spice Girl 5357 says, Hi, Doc. Can you talk about miscarriages and young people of today? Um, well, the thing is, when you look at health in general, especially health with young women, as I was highlighting this morning, as it relates to polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, polycystic ovaries, and the list goes on and on. It is very problematic because you find women who end up in a situation with miscarriages is most of the time they have a number of issues. They have hormonal imbalance, they have very weak wombs, they have a lot of inflammatory response in the uterus. Hence, you find it's very easy for women to end up with ectopic pregnancies. You all know what ectopic pregnancies is, right? That's when the fetus. Do you call it fetus at that point, boy? Whatever it is called at that point, my apologies, is when it actually becomes lodged in the fallopian tube. And because of that being lodged in there, obviously, it's going to start to grow because that's what fetus do, or a fetus does rather. It has to grow, it has to develop. So in that narrow tube there, it can cause rupturing where you actually rupture the fallopian tube, which is referred to as a ectopic pregnancy. And usually people who end up with ectopic pregnancies are people who have problems with hormonal imbalance, not a healthy uterus. So please check out the uterine formula. We're going to actually be running an ad on those female hormonal products. This month, I'm going to have my marketing department do some work with that for me, simply because of how important it is to assist other persons in that particular situation. Miss Felicia told me she sent it on the 15th of April. Okay, good. Uh okay. On the 15th, on the 15th, that was a while. Which number you send that to? The 3149975? Just tell me which number you sent it to. That's strange. I should have gotten that already. But we'll check it. I'll make sure and check it. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Just highlight to me which number you sent it to, even though I would find it. But again, to make my life a little easier, I'm going to have to send it um, to them in the office, well, to the office tomorrow to make sure that they have it, but they should. But just tell me which number you sent it to again. All right, Miss TGI Tibeta, TGI has joined us as well. Miss Anne Marie 328 has also joined us as well. So, Miss James, you said it's the 3149975 number. Okay, good. I'll fix that. I'll fix that. Because I would have gone over all the reports that I would have gotten. I mean, I had one or two people I called and they didn't return. But I believe if I called you, I would have remembered. But I will sort it out. Okay. So give me this week. Okay, and I'll make sure and deal with it. Thanks. Miss Kalisha Moore says, Hi, can you please message me the cost of the nerve restore, please, and thanks. Okay, no problem. I will do that for you, my dear. Miss Namala Jadunat Das. A pleasant good night to you, my dear. She says, Good night, Dr. Batson. I made an appointment to see you on Wednesday in Davie for 11 a.m. Yes, Miss Das. What we would do, and I had Miss Roma calling in the videos because what happened, let me quickly say, is that my days originally in Davie was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. But what happened when I look at the bookings that I had and how I didn't do one day for Shogunas, I had to revert to Shogunas on Wednesday. So I do apologize for that. If it is, we can facilitate you Monday, Tuesday, or Saturday at your convenience at a time. Just please let Miss Roma know, and I will facilitate you at a time convenient for you. Monday, Tuesday, or Saturday. Okay, Miss Das? Let me know if that is a possibility. If not, I'm gonna try and make up somehow as regards to how we doing that, because that's the reason why I had to change it. Okay. Miss Ria Hariki she says, Hi, good night, Doc. Miss Felicia James, yeah, and thank you. You're very welcome. Miss Denise Hurst, Antigua is in the house. A pleasant good evening to you and all the listeners, the lovely people in Antigua and Bermuda. I have to go there now. I've never been to Antigua as yet. Very soon enough. Ms. Karishma Ramdan, she says, I will check back as well, Dr. Batson, because I normally would respond to messages on the WhatsApp as well. Yes, Ms. Ramdan. So our senior consultant, who is actually listening, so, she's going to make a concerted effort to check that out. And of course, as I said, Ms. Das, we would make significant provisions for you to facilitate anyone who would have had the Wednesday, and I had to change the Wednesday last minute. So I do apologize for that. So as I said, Monday, Tuesday, Saturday of this week, I would be in Debe. Debe would get the normal days, most likely the next Saturday, and then I adjust my marathon day according to the clinic. We usually have our working out of that office. All the consultants work out of Debe at some point in time. We have Mr. Vialva, who's usually down there. We usually have Mr. Ramdan and Mr. Green. Mr. Bastamante is usually St. James, Shogunas, as well as Mr. Green is usually St. James, Debe. Mr. Vialva is primarily Debe, Shogunas. Good. Miss Rachel Ramcharan. Hey, good night to you, my dear. Good night, Rachel. She says good night, Dr. Batson. Good. So one of the questions we were also had and Christine Lovell says, what days would you be in St. James? I'm usually in St. James on a Friday. St. James gets Friday. They do get some Mondays and Tuesdays if I'm doing a makeup day, but usually Friday because St. James marathon days, let me see. Is a good thing you asked me that question because this was something I was supposed to do in my head a while. Because we have Debe. So Debe is the first, the second. Shogunas is going to be the third. And Debe is also going to be the 6th, which is the Saturday. Then Tobago, we're looking at the 8th to the 13th. And most likely, the marathon, the Tobago would get May, the end of May as well, which is the 29th to the 3rd. And then we would go St. James Marathon week would start in the month of June. I would organize it accordingly, but it's usually on a Friday. I'm in St. James. Okay? Miss Joan Garcia, she says, good night, Mr. Batson. Good night to you, my dear. One of the other questions as well, too, this morning on Sky 99.5, one of the things there was a question that was asked as regards to problems associated with strokes. And one of the things I was helping people to understand, we were actually talking about optimizer as regards to eye health and how important it is for eye health. So, if it is you're having a problem with your eyes, please take good care of these two windows that you have. They say the eyes is the windows to the soul. Take care of your eyes, please. If you know you're a diabetic, if you know you have situation, we have an eye drop. The eye drop is not $1 million. Believe me. For what that eye drop does, it is a good price for the eye drop. The eye drop is a cleanser one. So it actually cleans your eyes. You know how many people use that eye drop and say, Dr. Batson, I never know I had so much cold in my eyes. That eye drop actually pulls out cold. You actually feel, when you pass your hand, you feel the cold in your hand. You see it in the eyes because of how thick that mucus and build-up in the eyes is. You have to understand, remember, chemicals enter your body via your eyes, Chemicals enter your body ocularly. So chemicals can enter the body in 3 ways. Dermally, which is through your skin, ocularly, which is through your eyes, and respiratory-wise, which is through your nostrils, your respiratory system. So it's very important to detoxify your eyes. And Eye Optics formula essentially is an eye detox. That's what it really is, A detoxification for your eyes. So you could imagine you're detoxifying your eyes. Because what it does, it cleans the eyes. A lot of people, that's why when people have pterygium. There's a client I started doing work with. Her daughter, she said, Dr. Batson, excuse me one second. She said, Dr. Batson, I did, because she does FaceTime with her mom, because I started doing some work with her mom. And she said, Dr. Batson, thank you. The vision is improving gradually, but the most important, the redness and the swelling. She said, Dr. Batson, every time I talk to my mother, I used to see how my mother's face was looking. I've seen the change. And that's just one eye drop. She didn't even finish the eye drop yet. That's to tell you. So if you have pterygium, if you have blurred vision, if the doctor's telling you have glaucoma, you need to take an eye detox, and that's where the Eye Optics formula comes in. Safe, effective. I've had persons using this eye drop. It's over 12 years we have this eye drop now. And you can use it along with your other medication. But I guarantee you, when you go back to your doctor, you use 2 or 3 bottles of eye drop and go back by your doctor and hear what they have to tell you. You're going to see improvement. The ITs, the optimizer, the anthocyanin complex, which is a new product that we have, which is an upgrade from the bilberry. That's something that's very good as well. Okay. So Miss Maureen Toll says, good night, Dr. Batson. A pleasant good night to you, my dear. Miss Fiola Rudder says, good night, Dr. Batson. What causes darkness around your eyes? Most of the time, darkness around your eyes is sometimes sleep, but sometimes it's not really sleep, sometimes it's circulation. So if you're not genuinely tired and you're resting properly, you're not studying or late up reading, whatever the case may be, generally, if you find around your eyes have a lot of dark circles, it could be an indication of poor eye health, poor cerebral circulation. So the eye drop will help, optimizer will help, drinking more of the alkaline water will help, doing your cleanse will help. That's one of the things that a lot of clients experience with us. You see a distinct change in your face. Your complexion is brighter. Why? Because your body's starting to breathe. We're getting oxygen in places that the body wasn't getting oxygen in before. Good. Okay, Miss Janice Matthews. She says, could I get to see you on the 3rd if I call? The 3rd is what day? Or Wednesday? It's in Chaguanas. Yeah, you could see me on the 3rd. Call and tell them Dr. Batson say put you in. Good. Miss Namala Jadunat Dash. She says, could you do anything about connective tissue diseases? Yes, I can. I have treated clients quite successfully with that. There was a young lady I had. I remember her, good, beautiful young woman. She had came to us some years ago with her mother. Nice, so not very nice young lady. And one of the problems that she had, they had diagnosed her with connective tissue disorder. Yeah, anything remotely in the realm of autoimmune, I can address. What I always tell the clients when you deal with an autoimmune disease, you have a lot of work to do. You have work to do because autoimmune conditions are as a result of high excessive levels of inflammation in the body. And you don't want to have to take steroids to bring down that inflammation. You're going to end up in problems. Okay? So, Miss Jaduna Das, definitely we can help with that situation. Miss Yolande Carey Clark, she says, goodbye, Dr. Batson. Listening, thanks for all the info. Miss Rachel Ramtran, she says, the Optics Plus is definitely one of the best products. Always gives excellent results. For real. Thank you so very much. Miss Viola Rada says, thank you. We'll make an appointment for June month in St. James. You're very welcome. Miss Joyce Campbell says, can I get penal phone number again? The number for Debe is 223. That's 223-7515. Again, that number for Debe is 223-7515. Shoguna's number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. And that office, of course, is located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montreal, Shoguna's. That telephone number for Dede again is 223-7515 and Shogunas is 222-8261. Miss Namala Jadunat Das says, okay, thank you, Doc, you're welcome. Miss Viola Rada says, I need to have a full body checkout. I am not on any medication. However, I need to know my health issues. Very good, and that's what we do. Let me just speak quickly on the blood analysis, which we do at Batson and Associates. So we do something known as live nutritional blood cell analysis. Now, blood is one of the basic aspects of the human body. I mean, when you look at how important blood is, and the healthier your blood is, obviously, the healthier you would be. I mean, that's common sense, right? Blood is often referred to as the river of life, simply because it does that. So, healthy blood, healthy body. Sick blood, sick body. Good? Which is why I don't believe they should be just taking everybody's blood and just putting it inside. You have a serious problem with that. Because blood is not only a physical entity, for want of a better expression. Blood is also spiritual, is also energy. That's a serious thing. The blood carries emotions and a number of different things in it. Blood is not just, as a physical situation. There's also energy and spirituality in that, in any aspect of the human body, right? You are uniquely you. Good. Grace Williams says, Oh yes, the eye drop is a detox for the eyes for sure. Definitely. So Miss Trisha Pascal says, does connective tissue cause swelling and pain? Yes, it does. Connective tissue disorder is also similar to what is known as fibromyalgia. So those type of disorders which actually affect the body tissue, myasthenia gravis, and those type of things. The problem with people who have those challenges, they have a lot of work to do. The inflammation is what is causing the problem, and you may have had high inflammation from a child growing up, and it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. So imagine years of inflammatory response stored in tissues and that kind of thing. That's how people just end up sick and want to know how they have cancer and all these type of things. Simply because when inflammation abounds in the body, sickness is going to flourish. So anybody who, anytime you're real sick, know you're full of inflammation. Inflammation, inflammation. So how do you get rid of that? You use prednisolone. How much prednisolone you could use? Everybody know prednisolone is one of the most dangerous medication it has. We know that. Anybody who in the field of medicine knows that. Which is why doctors should try their best not to give you, but it's gay and like if it's sweetie, take, suck. No. No, 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 no. You have to deal with the address, the root cause of the problem. Okay, Miss Joyce Campbell says, thank you, Doc. We'll be calling you soon to make an appointment. Very good. Miss Marlene Martin says, Dr. Batson, what do you have for trigger fingers? Trigger fingers, easy. We deal with trigger fingers, carpal tunnel. My good friend, Pauline McKenna, pleasant good night to you. She gave me a testimony with that. Excellent, excellent results. Carpal tunnel, to trigger finger, that type of thing. We deal with that. Miss Cindy Hoyt says, Doc, have you ever heard of metabolomics by Geneva Diagnostics? Metabolomics. I think I heard about that. There's some sort of fruit mixture or some kind of thing like that. Elaborate a little more for me. I could always check it out. Miss Viola Rudder says, she said, you are correct, Dr. Batson. That killed my sister. Yeah. I'm not an advocate of the use of steroids. They are a means, but the means never justifies the end. It really, really is a damaging thing for people. And I always try my best to help people. Usually, let me tell you something, when you have pain, arthritis, you go by a doctor and you get an injection and the pain gone. You feel something good, you get it, Most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's not. They give you some sort of steroid, and when the pain comes back, it comes back 5 million times worse because you suppress the pain, and you suppress the inflammation, and you did not deal with it. Okay? Trisha Priscilla said, my daughter, and she liked to eat old food. I hear you. I hear you. But we help him with those situations. Ms. Vidya Abdul says, Doc, this morning you gave us an update on Santuna Slim. Would you recommend pre-order of this product at the same time? And generally, what other products do you recommend for pre-order? I like Ms. Abdul. Yeah, you could recommend, you could use, you could pre-order Santulan. You could pre-order the Royal Jelly. That's something that we were waiting on for a while. You could also pre-order Balance Circulation as well as Advanced Circulation. You could also pre-order the Circulation Tea, which focuses a lot on hypertension. That we'll be getting again shortly. I really wanted like a large amount. They cut down my order by more than half. But I'm on back order. So as soon as they get again, we're going to try our best to replenish. Because of course, we're getting more and more clients. And of course, we have to facilitate more people. So, it's a matter of doing. So, Miss Vidya Abdul, good question. I would say Santulan Slim, the Royal Jelly, balance circulation, advanced circulation, digestive balance, circulation teas. We actually have circulation tea in stock now. That's going to go like crazy. We have a next set coming in week after next. What we're doing now, we're getting our teas much more often so that we're in a better place to help persons where that is concerned. Okay? Miss Marlene Martin says, Dr. Batson, my mom has great results with you. She is one of your patients. I will be calling you soon, very soon. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that, Miss Marlene. Miss Cindy Hoyt, it's a non-invasive personalized nutritional assessment, specimen type, urine, bloodshot, buccal swab. Okay. Yeah, I was now taking a look at it here. So I'll check it out, my dear. Thank you. And I'll give you guys some feedback. It seems good so far. I am always a big advocate of that. Even here, tissue analysis is something I like. I plan to start doing that in the near future. Very, very good in terms of diagnostic and determining certain things. All right, so that's very, very key. A key component in actually addressing that particular situation. Good. Let me say, of course, someone was asking as it relates to rheumatoid arthritis. And rheumatoid arthritis is something I've spoken about on numerous occasions. When you really understand rheumatology and arthritis and inflammation, because all arthritis patients have very high levels of inflammation, right? Keep in mind, inflammation is the root cause of all disease. Miss Cindy Hoyt says, I received my report to send to Miss Ramdan soon. Okay, great. Nice, I'm glad. So you'll be able to look at that in more detail. And the thing is, we do that with international clients, your reports is something they send. There are a lot of things that they have out there, and Batson Associates is going to be bringing some of those things soon for our clients locally as well as internationally, because of course, you could always better your best as regards to, what we do and how we do it. Good. In addition to that, let me just say quickly, Nerve Restore. Someone was asking about Nerve Restore. If we have in stock, yes, we do. What is Nerve Restore? Nerve Restore is a product that is primarily designed to reduce inflammatory response in the body. It is also a product that is designed to help individuals who pay significant attention to correcting inflammatory response in the body. So it's a key marker to determine sickness and also as regards to managing the high levels of cortisol in the body. So that is what it does. So you find someone, you're going to have enhanced sleep, you'll have a better quality of sleep. You find if you're a person who have depression, if it relaxes you, it makes you deal very calmer. If you're someone who's usually very anxious or have problems with nervousness, it will also help you in that regard. So the Nerve Restore is a product you should check out. Very good product at Batson and Associates. Good. So it's now 9:50 p.m. So I'll be going until I started at what? I started at 8:43, right? So I don't like odd numbers. So we will go till 10:03. Reason being, we have a promotion that I have to do because there's a program that we started on Tuesday. Tuesday we actually on Isaac, the Promise. I can't remember the numbers for that. I'll get it for you just now as to what station it is. But I know it's Isaac, we Promise, and we usually I'm doing that program now on a Tuesday, from 12:15 to 12:30. So that's something that you could also join. So I have to actually do some things for that. So I will finish at about 10:03, right? So any questions you may have, try and send it for me so I can answer it within the next 13 minutes. Oh yes, Mr. Ramdan helped me. It's Isaac 98.1 FM. So Batson Associates is now on that program, Isaac 98.1 FM. It's a bit short, it's 15 minutes, but we have some stuff coming up.
Lunchtime.
Yeah.
And lunchtime period, they can't miss the opportunity of them being able to hear help.
Definitely, of course. And in addition to that as well, too, we'll have other segments that we'll be allowed to do, with I think there's a program that they have with women. I'm supposed to be invited on that. So we'll see how it goes. It's all about information and that type of thing. All right. Miss Christelle Lovell says, Doc, I have been sick for a while now, unable to work. Diagnosed with poor circulation, body pains, unable to sleep, etc. Was told my inflammation is high. I've changed my eating for a while now, but still ongoing pains. My aunt recommended me to you. Yeah, that is a common. That the inflammation high. You see, the thing is, changing your diet alone doesn't bring down inflammation enough. Depending on the level of inflammation that you have in your body and how long that inflammation is there, you need proper assistance for us to get that inflammation out of your body. And that's one of the things that we have mastered at Batson Associates. I've had people who come to me with ESR 60 and in 2 months, 3 months time, the ESR normal 5 and thing. But we have to work on getting those down and how we get it down. Very, very important. Okay. So I would recommend, even if it is you don't come to us, at least start off the Alkagen water and the inflammation formula. Those are two things that are going to help you. If you could throw in if you do not have allergies to shell food and you're not a 7-day Adventist, so you're not allergic to shrimp, crab, lobster, and you're not a 7-day Adventist, there's a particular omega with astaxanthin that we have. That's also a product you could use. Very good in the protocol that we have for rheumatoid arthritis and those type of things. Okay, guys? So let me, of course, excuse me, remind you of our social media. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And on TikTok, it's Dr. Batson. So feel free to like us, share us, share comments. You know, you may have used a product, you use the Santulan, you know, and you have had a good result. Let us know. Any of the products and services that you would have used, let us know, and we would be able to organize accordingly. Miss Namala Jaduna Das says, could I come in on Saturday and what time? Yes, you can. What I suggest you do is call back the office and speak to Miss Roma, and Miss Roma will set the appointment for you. Okay, Miss Jaduna Das. Miss Frederica Joseph says, Nerve Restore is magic in a bottle. I got 100 results, 100% results using it. 19 years working night. It helps to regulate my sleep pattern. I now sleep very well. Thank you again, Dr. Batson. God bless you. All here for yourself. And I personally use Nerve Restore. I always tell people, Nerve Restore was made for me first. I made that product for me because of my schedule and the amount of work I have to do and that type of thing. And I try to manage stress as best as I can because I really ready to dead. And I did Nerve Restore, and it worked so well. I was so impressed with it. I said, nah, boy, I have to bring this product to the people. Ms. Marlene Martinez says, how old do you have to be to use the Nerve Restore? Nerve Restore could be used, children could use Nerve Restore, you know. Like a child 10 years and up could use Nerve Restore. The thing was with children. So, okay, let me give you a range. So I would say a child maybe 6 years. So between 6 to 15 years, I would recommend Nerve Restore once every 3 days. But when you're looking at adults, adults can use it every day or twice a day. It depends on their needs and it depends on the issues that they may be having. So someone who may have high levels of inflammatory response, bad problems sleeping here is a wreck we could fix. I'm going to advertise myself as a sleep doctor because I sure I can help anybody sleep. We're doing this long. And I have worked on all sorts of sleep disorders, from sleep apnea, go right back. Okay? Miss Dulcita Roberts. Okay, so let me look at this thing. Mr. Steve Martwell, he says, good night, Dr. Batson. Got my iOptics formula, optimizer, and bilberry capsules. Just missing the IT because it was out of stock. Also, the iOptics didn't have an expiry date written on it or ingredients listed on the bottle. Should I be worried? No, you shouldn't be worried. You shouldn't be worried at all. Actually, one of the things that we have started doing with that product is they actually put the writing was so small. So what we have, there's a supplemental reading information that we have. And usually we have, I know we're getting back some more from the printers. So that is something that is going to be accompanying the eye drop as well now to make it much easier. So you have nothing to be worried about. Good products as regards to the eyes. I hope your water intake is sufficient. Remember, your body weight divided by 2 ounces. And you're going to get some good results. All right, I promise you that. Miss Dulcita Robert says, Dr. Batson, good night. What water can you use? Alkagen. I cannot get it in the US. Oh, okay. Well, they have different other brands of alkaline water in the US, so that's something I would suggest you explore and use. Then you also have distilled water, which is also a good quality of water to drink as well. So you have options there. You have options in the US. Okay, Jazzy Janice Innes says, really, I don't know how you do it. I need the Nerve Restore. No, that Nerve Restore is boss, girl. Boss. I believe everybody in management should get that product. It really is a wonderful product. I do that product with my heart and soul because, as I said, I did it for me first. But all the products I have, I do like that. Santulan was done again. All the products that we have at Batson Associates, I use with the exception of the one specifically for women and the one specifically, like I would use blood sugar complex. I don't have any diabetes. I do use the hypertension tea because my blood pressure not high. But things like Nerve Restore, Optimizer, resveratrol. Well, man, I just murder this thing, L-arginine. I just use that L-arginine supplement every single day. I don't miss that. Good product. Okay. Miss Karishma Ramdan, she says, very true. It's an amazing product. Definitely. I believe she's making reference to the Nerve Restore there. Miss Jazzy, Janice Innes says, Dulcita Roberts, Alkagen, I believe. Thank you. Miss Cindy Hoyt, in Canada, we have Flow alkaline water. Yeah. So you all check the different ones you have. I'm sure. I mean, I can't put my head on a block for everybody, but I know in those countries they don't make joke. So I know they're going to have a lot of stuff. Okay. Mr. Stephen Atwell says, thanks a lot. It works great, by the way. Really feels it different. Yup. Water intake drastically improved a lot. Good. Very good, Mr. Atwell. So we're looking forward to see you with some good results there. Miss Jennifer Valentine. Dr. Batson, do you have Optimizer? Yes, we do. We have Optimizer. Miss Pollyanna Panglusane, I believe it is. She says, good night, Dr. Batson. What can you suggest for someone with sensory issues? Sensory issues, I would go Optimizer, Nerve Restore, Cerebral. I don't know exactly which part in the world you are if you're in Trinidad. The inflammation formula is also a good help as well. That will help you. Okay. Faith says, I love your method of no compromising healing, bro. Very good. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for that. Yeah, Miss Charlene Mike says, good night. What do you have for sleep apnea? Sleep apnea, keep in mind, most people with sleep apnea usually have problems with their weight. No, I'm not saying it. I have seen or know slim people with sleep apnea. But most of the time, people with sleep apnea are, they carry some weight. And that's why you have problems. Because when you lie down, you find, because of what happens to your diaphragm, is like it almost compressing. So the breathing and the proper flow of air is not as it's supposed to. And then the diagnosis of sleep apnea. So anyone who has sleep apnea, one of the first things you may need to do is to lose some weight. And, in working on that, in losing the weight as well, we could also recommend different things. For people with sleep situations, again, do some work on the gastrointestinal system. It would help. The Nerve Restore would also help as well. Okay. Miss Marlene Martin says essential water is good for the lady in the US. I use it every day. Okay, good. So that's Miss Martin highlighting a particular water that she gets in the US there. Miss Suzette Dempster says, Doc, answer my question, please, Miss Dempster. Oh, okay, good. Miss Suzette Dempster says, what you use L-arginine for, doctor? L-arginine is a nitric oxide precursor or a precursor to nitric oxide, Miss Dempster. So what that means is that once you have sufficient levels of nitric oxide in the body, you cannot have a cardiovascular accident. So I always tell persons, you cannot have a stroke, you cannot get a heart attack, you cannot have arterial defibrillation and all them fancy heart problems if or once your nitric oxide levels are ample and sufficient in the body. Very, very important. Okay, so that's something that you could also pay attention to. This is what Edwards, so Kidda Edwards 1 says, Dr. Batson, good night. I have rheumatoid arthritis and losing plenty of weight with plenty nausea. Again, we help in rheumatoid arthritis. I just love to get all here, When I say that, I love to get rheumatoid arthritis patients to work with because I love to see the results that we get and how quickly we get the results. Okay, so if you have rheumatoid arthritis and you want us to help you, reach out and we will do. Keep in mind, we have open clinic days, so you can actually have days available where you can come in and have a consultation. Dr. Batson does review and review only. All right. And that's, of course, for the effectiveness and the efficiency of what we do. And we work assiduously with you to give you the results that you want. So keep in mind those open clinic days. Open clinic days, basically every day you can walk in and have a consultation done with one of our senior consultants. Let me say again, a pleasant good evening to my very hardworking colleagues, Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Paul Green, Mr. Rene Bustamante, Mr. Stefan Vialva, and all the other hardworking staff at Batson Associates, Ms. Jenna Marshall, Mr. Mario, Miss LaShawn Hills, Miss Jeanne Robinson, Miss Sasha Sunarine Adams, Miss Ramcharan. Our new addition, we have Miss Roma in Davie there, as well as Miss Donna Budu. Donna, God, Donna, I hope I saying your surname correct, girl. Miss Latoya in Tobago. Our new addition to our Shogunas staff there, Mr. Shemuel. We also have Mr. Shakil, as usual, Mr. Jason Patty. So a lot of hardworking staff, you know, behind Batson Associates and what we do as regards to helping persons. Okay. Miss Keisha Cindy Benjamin says, I'm a diabetic and had a total hysterectomy. Whoa, 2 years ago. And I need help, please, because my body is going haywire. Can you help? Yeah, man. Listen to me. I tell you, the only people I cannot help is dead people and hardened people. Only people. Okay. Miss Trisha Pascal said, I have a review. Haven't reached yet. Oh, you have a review? Well, okay. Well, when you're ready, come down the road. Good night, Dr. Batson. My husband and I only started our medication on the 21st of March and already experienced results. This is, who's telling me this here? But this is RPK Fingers Treats. Okay, so I'm glad to hear that. That's someone saying they just started our program and they're satisfied with the results that they're getting, even though it's a short period of time. So thanks again, Miss Trisha Pascal. Want to take some more products? Okay, great, no problem. Boutique TT says, so Miss Ramdan, must say I'm very impressed with her service. Excellent staff. Yes, I agree. Thank you so very much. I did it until I got it right after God. You know, so we good. Ms. Joyce Campbell says, where is the open clinic day? You have open clinic day at any one of our offices. So we have our office in Shogunas. Shogunas open clinic day is every day. Every day we have a consultant there. Dr. Batson day in Shogunas is usually on a Wednesday, unless I'm doing marathon with specific days, which is usually mentioned, advertised, that type of thing. Okay, Miss Campbell. So, like for example, this week I'll be working day Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. So Davey is going to customarily have their open clinic day, but I am going to be there on those days. So I'm going to make sure and do the review and those type of things. Okay. Ms. Ria Harrikisun said, Doc, how many mgs of L-arginine should you use daily? It depends on what it is you're dealing with. Anywhere between maybe 500 milligrams to maybe up to 1,500 milligrams for the day. Okay. Jazzy Janice Innes says, what's good for cramping in the feet? Circulation tea works really, really well. Okay. So again, keep in mind those open clinic days. Next week at the Davie office, it's Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday for Dr. Batson. That office is open Monday to Saturday, of course, and you have other days which will be open clinic days, which will be the Wednesday, the Thursday, and the Friday, but Dr. Batson would not be there those days. I will only be in Davie Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. I am back in Shogunas on Wednesday. Keep in mind, Shogunas has its open clinic day every day, Monday to Saturday. St. James, I'm going to be in St. James on Friday. St. James is going to get their marathons coming in June because we'll be dealing with Tobago in May and June, and we move accordingly as regards to that. Okay. So again, those telephone numbers for Shogunas, it is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Davie is the corner of Ramsonwood Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Davie. That telephone number for Davie is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number for St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago is, of course, the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number for Tobago is 226-4553. Again, that's 226-4553. To book your online consultations, you can call 1-868, that's 1-868-373-2388. Again, that's 1-868-373-2388. And be one of our many satisfied international clients who's already getting results, who already feeling better. Okay, so it's now 10:07. So, oh, seriously? Okay, good. So, as I said, I don't like uneven numbers, so I will go till 10:13. So it means that I would have finished, I would have done what, hour 120 minutes or hour 130 minutes? No, if I started what, 8:43? Yeah, to 9:43, and then we go 13, which is that's hour and a half. Right. Good, so hour and a half, right? Grace Williams says magnesium deficiency can cause cramping in one legs as well. Yes, that's true. That's very much the case as well. That's something I was actually now going to mention. That the thing is with magnesium, though, you just need to be careful. If you have kidney problems, well, then you can't use magnesium, right? It's very problematic. So that's something that you need to pay very close attention to. Keep in mind our upcoming programs and promotions. We do have our 3-in-1 or 4-in-1 rather, which is your live blood, dry blood, magnetic resonance analysis, food detox, and your executive consultation. That's still a steal of a deal right now. So take advantage of that. We have the pensioner special as well, which we always put things in place for the pensioners. We also have the mechanic, that engine promotion that we're going to be starting to run with in the very near future, when of course we have more staff and we put certain things in place. That is something we're going to be taking in a big way to help a lot of individuals as regards to that whole situation. So keep in mind our program. So this week on Tuesday, God's willing, we'll be doing Isaac, the promise. That is going to be from 12:15 to 12:30, and that is Isaac 98.1 FM. Then, of course, Thursday, which this Thursday we didn't get to do any program because everything was just a mess. Thursday gone there. So, of course, usually we should be back on 103.1 FM. That's going to be 11:05 to 11:25. Then we do 106.5 FM, which is Freedom, and that is usually from 1:15 to 2. And then, God's willing, we go on DJMamuRadioTT.com, which is 12:15 to 3:15. So locked and loaded for this week, God's willing, and we're going to ensure that we do what we're supposed to do and continue to assist you as the best help yourself. So before we finish, again, keep in mind the open clinic days. Keep in mind the products that we carry, our eye optics formula. If you have problems with cataract, glaucoma, detached retina, you're looking for clearer eyes, you're looking to improve your eyesight, listen to me, I'm telling you, you are going to get results with the eye drop. You're going to get results. You shake it up, you put it in your eye. If you have other eye drops that you're using, especially for glaucoma, you can use the eye drops in conjunction. We normally tell you, use our eye drop an hour before or hour after the other eye drops that you're using. But you're going to see an improvement. Just this morning, somebody shared that. She said in using the eye optics formula, the eye pressure in the right eye went down by 7 and in the left it went down by 5. That's normal thing with us. Normal thing. We have the eye teas, very good product to help with your eyesight. We also have the nerve restore. So if you have problems with sleep, if you want to have a better, improved sleep, if you want your body to deal with stress, you find you're too nervous, or you find you're dealing with people who just aggravate in your spirit, then that is something for you. Optimizer improves eyesight, memory, cerebral, very good for memory, very good for improving one's attention span, very good for helping one to focus as well. Inflammation formula, big product as it relates to helping with limbs and joints and your bones. You're having problem, they're telling you about knee replacement. No, we're not going through that. We're looking to improve our health naturally. CMOS, Batson Associates. We have a nice batch of CMOS there. We have bone dry, we have a nice Toko CMOS, proper thing. So that's something for you to check out as well. Okay? So again, as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. So again, those telephone numbers for the Shoguna's office, that number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as Debe, which is located on the is on the corner of Ramson Wood Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Debe. That telephone number for Debe is 223-7315. And St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number is 220-8113. Tobago, of course, is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. Keep in mind those days for Tobago. Our office is opening on the 8th, God's willing. We are opening, and we'll be starting to service the people of Tobago in a much better way, and the way I like to do it, thoroughly, effectively, efficiently. So again, God bless you guys. I have been able to spend an hour and a half with you guys, so that wasn't too bad. But as I said, we have some recordings and stuff to see about now. So I have to bring it to an end at this point in time. God bless you guys, and looking forward to seeing who we need to see next week, please God. Be safe. Do enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Hopes you have a restful night until we see next again. God bless. Do enjoy the rest of your day or evening, night.